Welcome back to another drawing process video. Without any further ado, let's get into it. The first thing I always do is drawing a silhouette. For easier anatomy, I usually make blobs first, especially on the joints and muscles, then connect them to make the limbs. Normally I would show you how I pick my references, but this time it's just out of pure dehydration. There is no logical or artistic reason behind today's reference. Now we're moving on to the rough sketch. As the name suggests, don't worry about tidiness at this stage. We're just visualizing the big picture of our drawing. Today I'm drawing Rerir, or is it Rerir? Anyway, he's a man with a lot of R's in his name. He's the newest bad guy in Genshin Impact 6.0, and you know my degenerate ass will be thirsting all over him. Now the beauty of drawing Rerir is you only have to draw one eye and one nose. He will be a perfect subject if you wanna practice anatomy and muscles but don't wanna draw faceless bald guys. Speaking of anatomy and muscles, don't zoom in when you're roughly sketching them. It's easier to spot mistakes in the anatomy when you're zooming out. And yes, unfortunately, you do need at least a basic understanding of anatomy and muscles to draw beefy guys like this. There's tons of tutorials with basic shapes like circles, cylinders, boxes, but the easiest way, in my opinion, is to copy your favorite artist's work. This doesn't just apply to body anatomy, but also facial features, drawing hair, clothes, etc. The reason I suggest this method is because first of all, drawing boxes and copying anatomy from biology books is boring AF. At least you'd be happier observing and studying your favorite artist's work, and you can immediately learn how to simplify and exaggerate the anatomy. Second of all, you can also discover your art style with this method. Okay, look, no art style comes from our own noggin. Artists take inspiration from other artists they like. By copying their work, you can figure out what works and what doesn't for you. So, two birds with one stone. You learn anatomy and discover your art style. For anatomy, I suggest learning from Rino Tuna. Whenever I get stuck in drawing and shading muscle, I always look for Rino Tuna for extra references. However, do not, and I repeat, do not claim the art as your own after you copy. You can upload it on social media, but always credit the original artist and state it clearly that this is a study on their work. If any of you claim a copied work as your own, so help me God, I will send Rerir to slap you. But you'd probably like that, wouldn't you? I will come personally to slap you. Would you like that too? What's wrong with you? Anyway, in the clean sketch, I started to be more detailed in drawing every curve and ripples of the muscles. I usually simplify the muscles into rounded shapes because I like them to be a little plump, but I've seen people simplify them into more angular shapes. And this is actually easier if you're just learning to draw muscles. By the way, I'm using flat watercolor opaque brush. I also used it for the silhouette, rough sketch, and later I'll be using this for shading and rendering. So no more asking what brush I'm using. We're skipping the base color because it's boring AF, but one thing to note, when drawing people with white hair, don't use pure white as the base. It will be harder to shade and it's so bright it will hurt your eyes. Anyway, I had to draw a tank top on him so YouTube doesn't slap me with yellow dollars, but at this stage I think it's fine to shade it without a tank top because it doesn't look like a human body yet. I'm applying soft shadows with an airbrush on a multiply layer. I put a little sun on the corner to indicate the light source because my small anchovy brain always forgets where the light source is and my lighting turns out to be such a mess. Now we move on to the hard shadows. I made another multiply layer for this and I map out the darkest shadow first. So no need to be too meticulous about it. Oh, and don't zoom in. Focus on the big picture. After learning muscles from some time, I realized that the pectoral muscle or the chest muscle closer to the light source tend to be darker. If you wanna know why, well, don't ask me, ask God. Speaking of pectoral muscles, you know what Rerir says about his body? He said his body is sluggish, torpid, and a disappointment. My dude, do you not realize how huge your bazongas are? You know how many people would kill to have your bazongas? What the hell are you complaining about? maybe he has body dysmorphia, and if that's the case, I sincerely apologize. Anyway, what were we doing? Alright, shading. For the shading, I actually use flat watercolor opaque 2 to apply the soft shadows. This one is softer than the first flat watercolor opaque, but has more texture compared to an airbrush. Oh, and we should shade the hair as a ball because the head is round. I didn't come up with this, by the way. A lot of hair tutorials said this, so don't blame Feng if it doesn't work for you. Similar to the pectoral muscle, apparently the root of the hair closest to the light source is also darker. I don't know, nature's mystery, I guess. But anyway, I add small dark shadows on overlapping parts, so it'll be easier to render, I hope. Moving on to the rendering, I always start with the nose. I don't know why, it's a habit. But especially for this video, it's kind of a dumb thing to do because ain't nobody's gonna be looking at his nose. But on the topic of noses, I usually sketch them quite sharp but make them rounded in the rendering for a realistic look. Apply the shadows gradually, start with a slightly darker color than the base and make it darker little by little. This way it would look more natural. Also, avoid using pure black for the nostrils. Use dark red or dark brown instead. Pure black will make the nostrils bigger than you intended. Now we move on to the eyes. The eye. He only has one eye. Rare probably has the smokiest eye amongst all Genshin characters, so let's go all out on the eyeshadows. I'm removing the iris for a moment because I just learned this new method to draw eyes, which I will show you in a minute. Let me draw the eyeliner real quick and then add some lashes. Okay, so the new method is basically just draw the iris on a new layer and draw a whole circle. This way, the pupils won't look weird and you can fix any mistakes easily compared to drawing them on the same layer as everything else. Yeah, that's basically it. I don't know why I made such a big hoopla about it. Okay, I just realized that the nose is kind of weird when I zoom out, so I was trying to fix it, but it's kind of hard to do with all the bandages and the lack of other facial features. Yeah, guess what? Drawing a guy with 90% of his face bandage is actually harder than drawing a full face. I spent like 15 minutes trying to fix his nose and realized that maybe it looks weird because there is no other facial features as a comparison. Like maybe if there's a mouth, I can sort of eyeball the correct size of the nose. Well, anyway, that's why I decided to add the mouth. And in the true Feng Shao fashion, of course, I have to make everything weird. So we're drawing the guideline for the teeth, which looks like a mouth guard. Then we sketch the mouth and the actual teeth. I have a strong belief that Rare would have sharp fangs. Fingers crossed. And add the tongue like so. Make it squiggly. I feel like I'm violating his image at this point. Then we color and shade the mouth real quick. I usually make the upper lip have an M shape, like you can see in most of my drawings, but since it's gonna be covered up by the bandage anyway, I just went with the basic shape. Before we're hyper focusing on the mouth, let's start rendering his beefy body, because that will be the highlight of the drawing. I'm gonna start with painting the neck. To make it look 3D and realistic, shade the neck like you're shading a cylinder. If you're drawing a buff guy, imagine the cylinder has gummy worms on it. I know that Rare has the bandages covering his neck as well, but I don't want to make the same mistake as the nose, so I'm painting the neck as a whole, then I will add the bandages back in. I'm using some of Rino Tuna's artworks to help me shade, since some of the areas on the photo reference don't have clear shadows. Like I said, I didn't pick today's reference based on logic or artistic purposes. It's just pure dehydration. I'm using muted colors throughout my painting because it's easier to control and adjust the colors later on. It also doesn't hurt my eyes like vibrant colors do. To keep the shadows from blurring too much, I never use the smudge tool whenever I'm rendering. I always blend with low opacity brush and midtones. If you don't know what a midtone is, look at this picture. Anyway, the smudge tool will also take away all the textures as you render, making the drawing look really soft. But if that's what you like, you can use it, but I prefer painterly textures compared to soft looking ones. I know that I said that copying your favorite artist is the easiest way to learn, but try to learn a bit of anatomy if you have the time. It helps build your visual library, which enables you to draw from your imagination from time to time. It comes in really handy if you can't find a suitable references. Now we're doing the part I dreaded the most. the hair rendering. I saw a tutorial on Xiaohongshu. I don't remember who made it, but they said that you should render the top of the hair like you would render books. So basically like this, I think. I don't know. Hair is so complicated. It's like a ball. It's like a book. It's like a I don't know what's next. A rhino? Like, can't everyone just go bald? I mean, it would make life easier, you know? No hair loss, no gray hairs, no balding. Anyway, I think I did quite alright. The hair looks kind of like a ball and a book. Now we're adding the small shadows on overlapping parts, so the hair doesn't lose definition after all that rendering. If it does lose definition, make a new layer and use darker color to redraw the hair. Usually my hair lighting is all over the place, but this time I'm trying to be consistent, keeping the highlights in the middle. I think it would be easier to render if I sketched my hair neatly beforehand, because I did a hair video before and I did sketch the hair neatly, and yeah, it was easier to render because I don't have to change a lot of things like I'm doing now. Someone asked me in my last live stream, yes, by the way, I do live stream from time to time, how to sketch hair. And my method is always consider the hair as a ribbon. So instead of drawing it like a chicken scratches thing, simplify the strands into ribbons. Oh my god, we got one more. The hair is like a ball, it's like a book, now it's like a ribbon. The area further from the light source would have darker shadows, so don't hesitate to use darker colors to redefine the hair strands. Also, this is a simple thing, but I forget about it all the time. I hope you guys don't. But don't use super bright highlights in this area. You see those bright highlights that's almost pure white? Yeah, don't use them here. I realized that this is why my hair paintings don't look natural and the highlights are all over the place. If it's further from the light source, it doesn't get highlights. Or it does get highlight, but just not as bright of a highlight in the area closer to the light source. Why am I rambling? Okay, before I hyper focus on the hair painting and waste all my energy on it like I always did, I will tidy up the painting a little. Just blending in some rough strokes with midtones and low opacity brush like I mentioned before. And then I'm gonna add some creases on his tank top, because as tight as it is, the tank top is not a sticker. It would have some little creases on it. I suck at drawing clothes, so again, I used the help of one and only Rhino Tuna. Oh, I almost forgot the bandages on Rare's neck. It actually wraps around his body too, but we already gave him a tank top, so we're just gonna wrap it around his neck. By the way, I also have a version of him without a tank top, and I will upload it as soon as my membership is live. Yes, that's right. Sorry for the shameless plug, but yes, that's right. I decided to open my membership since YouTube's algo is just so shit these days and it affected almost all creators, even the big ones. Don't worry, it won't be that expensive, maybe just $2 to $3 per month, and this is just to make sure that my videos are actually being delivered to you guys and I can upload shirtless man drawings without getting censored. Hopefully it won't get censored, I'm not really sure, but if it does get censored, I will try to work around it. Maybe make a Discord or maybe make a Patreon or something. I will come up with other perks, like you can vote and suggest a video topic or the character I'm drawing. Some of you are asking for me to critique your work, maybe we can do that as well, but it's no pressure though. If you don't want to be a member, that's totally fine. I will still upload normal videos and shorts. Hopefully I don't get typhoid fever. But anyway, my membership is not live yet, but I will let you guys know if it's live. I almost forgot. His name is so hard to say. Rare got 2 glowing diamonds on his chest. Those looks pretty neat, so remind me to add that in later. By the way, what is it with Genshin giving diamonds to men with big bazongas? Alhaitham also has a diamond on his chest. Like, what's up with that? I mean, I'm not kink shaming, I just wanna know. Okay, before we're hyper focusing on diamonds on bazongas, I will add more soft shadows around the drawing because it looks a little flat. I'm using a multiply layer and clip it on top of the original drawing so I can fix it easily. Then with an overlay layer, I'm adding a bit of the skin color to the bottom of the hair. This will give a slightly translucent look to his bangs. I'm also overlaying some purple for color variation. I made another multiply layer and applied a rainbow on his face, which I just realized was a stupid thing to do because he's covered in freaking bandages. But if you're drawing someone with no bandages all over their face, try adding rainbow in this order. On a multiply layer, smudge it, lower the opacity, it adds color variation and keeps the face from looking flat. Now I'm outlining the whole drawing. Well, not the whole thing, just the body. I don't usually outline the hair. Adding line art after you finished painting is a quick and easy way to redefine lost details and add stylization. Speaking of lost details, I almost forgot his gummy worms. I mean veins. Look, if I sound like a degenerate throughout this video, that's because I am. I have no excuse. Anyway, I actually don't draw veins that much, surprise surprise, so I usually just draw the silhouette and then add the highlights. Afterwards, I use the gradient map to add richer color. Don't forget to duplicate the original drawing before you do this. I normally use either blue-red or blue-violet combination, then set the layer to soft light and lower the opacity. Then I use the unsharp mask filter to sharpen the drawing. Yes, the name is kinda ironic. The veins look a bit soft, so I add extra highlights on them to be more prominent. And that's basically it. If you like before-after images, this one's for you.